Peace. Grand Rising. I'm so silly today. I need that silliness. Peace, 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 beloveds. As y'all are coming in, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, beloved. Whew. I need to start my sage burning now. Grand Rising. Grand Rising, family. Let me see something. Oh, I'm be mad. Can't find my lighter. Oh, there it go. Peace. It's been interesting. Let me say that. It's been interesting. I'm going to share with y'all a little bit. Hopefully I'll get to share before this phone go dead. It's acting like I only got 15%. But I don't feel like going to get this. What you call it? Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Peace. So I've been exposed to being in the house with my family, all of them, for a week. No, it's not. And it's got my nerves a little on edge. The nerves is on edge. Thank you, beloved. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. They be wondering why I just be sitting in the room. I be just sitting in here. Just sitting. Sometimes I don't want to come out. I don't want to come out. That's why I know if I'm in the country, I would probably be really, really secluded. Y'all would be my only resource. Peace, beloveds. Just coming in. All right. Let's get it popping. I had to get my atmosphere. Look, I'm spraying everything. Yeah, everything burning. Everything burning. Ashe. Got some oil stuck in there. Ashe. Peace, beloved. Peace, man. Listen. All right. So I'm going to pull these cards. I really want to look over the weekend. And I'll probably come back on hopefully tonight. But I really want to examine what was going on in the universe over the weekend. I haven't really had time to see where certain planet placements were. I know we went into like Pluto retrograde last week. We're still in Jupiter retrograde, and I know that's bringing up some interesting energy, but it's a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend that I'm really interested to see how it is connected to the universe. All right, so let us get into our crystal healing right now. Clear this air. Obviously, it's very strong today. I'm gonna done broke this crystal. I swear, every time I hit it, I keep holding it. There we go. Whew. Heart chakra energy. We've been stuck in that plexus for a little bit. How was y'all weekend? Y'all always asking me how my weekend was. How was y'all weekend while we shuffle these cards? How was your weekend? What did you do? Did you get into anything? Peace, beloved. Did you get into anything? Ashe. Peace, beloved. Peace, Jay. Peace, Get Fit. Sammy. Dula. Nika. I think I've seen that. Let me see. Riz. Who else on here? Mari. Peace. All right. flying out. Let me see what this say. Okay. Shay. Let's get one more. Maybe we need two more. Y'all try to get me to do a whole pull. Oh no, they say that's it. It's all you get. Oh, had a chance to reconnect. Oh, nice. I need to do that today. I need to go and put my feet in the grass. I do. Oh, that's nice. Best friend, best friend. Peace, Black Bonnie. Okay, so the first card that came out is the Lover's card. Y'all about to make me refer just so I can make sure I get every dynamic of that. Because that was the first card to fly out. Some other cards flew out too, but... okay. So, normally when I pull this in a regular reading, I always say this is a soulmate, twin flame relationship that is manifesting in your life at this particular time. Venus went into a particular area like about a couple of weeks ago, and I was saying, be mindful because this is a time where you're going to start new relationships. This is a time frame where new energy is getting ready to come up. Things are going to be reevaluated in that particular dynamics when it comes to your house of relationships and how you are operating in your relationships, and how, like, even establishing the boundaries of what you want from your relationships. But this energy comes up and says, hey, there's some new relationships starting. It might be a soulmate. It might be your twin flame. Thank you, beloved. It might be a certain dynamic that is coming in to help you make choices and to operate from your heart space. This is maybe why I'm getting the heart chakra energy that we need to focus on. So heart energy, making sure you're walking in your passion, making choices that are connected to your heart. Why? Why are you making these choices? Are they connected to your heart? Or are they connected to some old randomness? Make sure that they're connected from the strongest organ that we have that vibrates amazing energy and has the power to change anything, is our heart. Okay? A lot of times, especially in Western society, they tell you to think from your brain. Like, oh, always use logic. No, you're supposed to use both. It's supposed to be a balance. But when we really look at it, the biggest organ, the biggest vibrating organ in our whole body is the heart. So what we feel in the heart is what we're able to manifest. What we see, then you can see through your heart, is what we're able to manifest. Okay? Now, the interesting part is we get the let go card. Grand Rising, beloved. So the let go might be let go of your past, let go of things that you're scared of, let go of your fear. Maybe, and it's crazy because I just posted this particular post in one of our classes. I actually sent them a video, and me and the young lady who I sent, one of the people that's in the class, we picked the same group of cards. And the thing that she talked about is be in a space where you understand that what happened in the past happened. Okay? Clear that, accept it, know that you are capable of loving and you are able to receive love. Okay? That you can forgive yourself and forgive the people who might have done something to you at this moment in time. So you can embrace what love has to offer. And that doesn't just mean like these soulmate relationships. This also means like your relationship with your children, your relationship with your parents. Make sure that you're letting go of all the things that happened before this moment, this very moment. This is a new, every minute that ticks, every second that goes by, we have a new opportunity to operate in our best self. We have a new opportunity to change the trajectory of our future. So how are you going to stand in it? Are you standing in love and fear? Or are you standing in love in the true space from your highest self, from your authentic self? Okay. So I love this because it's going to tie right into it I want to share with y'all later. So there's some cards. There's some cards on the bottom of the deck that I'm just seeing. So it's saying we get the Magician card. The Magician card is always like operating in your own power. Knowing that you have the power to manifest anything that you want to manifest. You have the power to like create the universe that you want to create, which is all about us being a goddess. That's all about our higher self energy. Okay. So knowing that you have the ability to create. So some of us are walking in love. Some of us are connected to our heart space. Some of us are going to meet new relationships, new mates, new boo things, as I like to say, new bae. But make sure that you handle this. Don't hold on to the fear. Don't hold on to anything that's going to block that ascension. It is through our own self-love, number one, that we reach our higher self. Peace, beloved. But it's also through our own self-love that we are able to bring in exactly what it is that we need. Okay? At that moment in time. A lot of times we get caught up into even this ideal of, oh my goodness, like, you know, what if this isn't the one? Well, it's okay. Everybody ain't got to be the one. They might just be the one that's going to teach you what they need to teach you at this moment in time. Experience it. Embrace it. Enjoy it. Make sure that the things that are triggering you to go back to that past self, to get into that fear space, to do the things that are not connected to love, that's not connected to your higher self, you are putting yourself in the mirror. Hold the mirror up. Oh, is this creating a problem for me? I had a conversation and we were talking about a situation, and this particular person was like frustrated because the guy didn't check on her to make sure that she had got home. But he had, you know, still sent a message to make sure that she got home, but he didn't check, like follow through. And so she was frustrated by the next day. And the funny part was, I was like, well, you said that he was yawning and he was tired all day. You said that he's overwhelmed because he's trying to take care of a whole lot of people. Sometimes you got to get out your feelings. Sometimes you do. Thank you, beloved. You got to get out your feelings. Get out your feelings. Quit putting all these expectations and crazy, you know, dynamics on people because they still are people. And as soon as you recognize it, now I ain't saying, because I don't even want y'all to get in that space. I am not saying that you put up with some bullshit. I am not saying you allow somebody to take you through no craziness. Not saying that. No. But what I am saying is, sometimes you got to reevaluate. What is the trigger? Are you creating a reason to run? Are you creating a reason to lace some sneakers up? Y'all know I'm the queen. I got track shoes be on all the time, on everything. Oh, you acting crazy. It's time to go. But what I have learned through this journey is you can't always expect people to respond to things the same way that you're going to respond to it. They might not have saw the same thing. I saw a family I was raised by two parents. Okay? I didn't come from a broken home. I didn't come from a dynamic where even my parents came from broken homes. But I didn't come from the broken home. But I still was repeating cycles of their parents. You see what I'm saying? So I had to start going back and digging and being like, but that's not what I saw. So when I'm in relationships, I'm putting these standards and expectations on the men, expecting them to be like my father. And my father is an amazing man. So that is a hard standard right there. He got me spoiled as hell. Like times 10. Not realizing that we're getting into relationships with people who might come from a broken home, who might not even had a home, that came from a situation where they were living in poverty. I didn't come from a situation where I was in poverty. So I don't even understand that mindset. Not to say that I don't, because I'm in a different space now. But at the time when I was going through stuff, it was like, you mad at me because I didn't grow up like you grew up. You mad at me because I didn't experience the same thing you experienced. So I've always walked in with that Pisces moon energy. Like I see the God in you, and I see what you are able to manifest and accomplish. And I just want to bring out the highest level of who you are. I've always walked in that energy. Always. I just want the best for you. I want to cater to you. Like I've always been in that energy. But now realizing that if that man ain't did the healing, or if you got that same situation, that woman ain't did the healing that she need to do in order to receive it, in order to embrace it, it's a trigger. It's going to be a trigger. So now they looking at it like, what the hell, what you up to? What's about to happen? I don't get it. You see what I'm saying? So you have to understand, what is that trigger, not only for you, but what is that trigger for that counterpart person? Not even just, like I said, I don't want it to just be relationships, but even with your children. It's something that I did over the weekend. I just really started digging in my kids' charts to really understand and try to get a grasp of challenges that my young boys will have. You know, understanding the concepts and things that I need to master in myself in order to help them be the best men that they can be. So it was crazy because I'm seeing stuff and I said, ha, that's a trigger. That's a trigger for me. So now I see why it's a trigger for them. Now I see why, like with my Leo twin, why we like oil and water sometimes. Sometimes oil and vinegar. It depends on the day, Lord. But I get it. So I just want to say, evaluate yourself. Evaluate yourself. Okay? Understand what your triggers are. Why are they there? Pay attention to them. Okay? You know, remember, everybody is different. Everybody's journey is different. I don't know if I want to pull from Power of Love or Rumi. I think I'm going to do Power of Love. We're going to do this. So let's do that. Oh, I feel better. I had to get the energy right. The energy been real interesting, y'all. But every time I do this and I get into my space and my seat of my soul, as I like to say, I feel so much better. I do. My heart was heavy. Ooh. Compassion. Ashe. That's exactly what I just said, but we're going to read it anyway. Compassion. You demonstrate the language of a heart by actively sharing and living love. So I'm not going to read the actual thing, but I'll post it. But it's basically all about understanding, being compassionate, not only for yourself and your journey and how you need to love you and how you need to operate in your own self-care, but be compassionate about other people's journey. Like I just said, they might have grew up in a different dynamic. They might have experienced a different upbringing. They might have experienced a whole nother environment. They might have had a crazy ass relationship right before you. Your kids might have had a traumatized, background. Not before, like not this lifetime. I told y'all just the other day, I was like, my Leo, I promise you, he went through something very traumatic in his past life. He is definitely very connected to something that was very traumatic for him. So when he came in this lifetime, he still has since I could remember, he always flinched, like he had a hard time before. Like he used to always feel like he was he trying to shelter himself. And I'm like, ain't nobody abusing you, so why you always flinching like this? This is weird to me. Okay? So pay attention that their journey is different. Their purpose is different. Okay? Their purpose is different. So how are you being compassionate to it? How are you taking the time to understand that their journey is theirs and yours is yours, and operate truly in your gift and how you are connected to your higher self the same way that they are? Okay? Making sure that you're giving them the tools on everybody that you meet. Like I said, not just your babies, but for real, like your men or your women, whoever it is that you're dating, your parents. Make sure that you're operating in compassion. I want to say this because I'm probably going to have to go off and come back on because I see my phone doing this blinking thing. But also think about, like, I hear a lot of stories, and I think because I don't know, it resonates with me differently, where some people didn't have their mothers in their lives, or they, had a really dysfunctional relationship with their moms. And a lot of times we are so present in what we experience with that particular parent that we forget that they had their own trauma. They had their own, dysfunction. They had their own journey. Okay? They were people before they were our parents. I say this so much, and I've been saying it like a very long time. And sometimes we be so caught in our own pain and what we experience from them that we don't understand, like, listen, they were people before they were your parents. You chose them. They didn't choose you. You chose them. So you got to understand and heal and mend whatever it is. Even if you can't, like, let's say you're a foster child or adopted child. Let's say you can't reach back out to them. Be in a space where you say, I love my mother for being the type of woman that she was, to say, I am not responsible enough, or I'm not capable enough to raise my child. So let me give her or give him to whoever. You see what I'm saying? Like, be in a space where you are making peace with it, that you are doing the healing work when it comes to that dynamic. Because a lot of times the pain and trauma that we create in our own lives is connected to our mother or our father. So definitely take the time to say, how can I make peace with that? Whether it's writing in a journal, whether you got to write a letter. I know I told somebody that, like, you need to constantly be speaking life. Speak life. Speak life into that person. Speak life into the situation. Maybe you can't talk to them. Maybe you ain't talked to your mama in 2 years. That don't mean you need to stop talking to your mother. That means that you need to constantly reach out. Constantly be in a space where, like, no matter what their response is, I am approaching this with love and light. Okay, I am approaching this with love and light at all times. I'm approaching this situation with compassion, because I don't know what happened to you when you was 3. I don't know what happened to you when you was 5. I don't know what type of relationship you had with your mother. I don't know what created the situation where you were caught in so much pain that you could not nurture and love me into wholeness, because you don't know how to love yourself into wholeness. And that's the part that I be wanting people to get. Like, if they are operating from dysfunction, you are expecting something from them that they are not capable of doing, because they have not done it for themselves. So take a moment and be compassionate. Grand rising, everyone. Be compassionate. Walk in love and light. Walk in love and light. That's the I guess message that's on my heart heavy today. I've been that mother. Like, I've been in a space where, like, I told y'all, my oldest 2 girls, man, listen, they felt like I was supposed to be Betty Crocker, stay at home, super mom, don't do nothing else, and just focus on their dynamic. And I wasn't that mother. I was not a domestic person when I was weird. I was domestic, but I was super alpha female at that time. I was super focused and goal oriented, because my whole goal was I wanted to create a foundation that they could be proud of. I wanted to create a legacy. So I knew I had the support system in order for me to do that. I had grandparents that were still living when they were born. I had my parents and both are together. Okay? And so in my mind, I'm sitting here like, okay, while I'm doing this, they can be with them. while I'm doing this, they can go over here. But what that created was they just wanted me to be home. They just wanted more of me. That's why I like when I get into that space of, make sure that y'all are doing what you're supposed to do at home. That's where that energy come from, because I learned from a different perspective. I had got it from like my girls. We are always had an open conversation, open communication. So when they were old enough to express and they on their own now, they was like, we would have rather had you. We would have rather you been the one that was guiding and leading us more so than you were. When they said that, it hit. So now I have a different relationship with the boys. Now the boys probably feel like I'm in their life too much. Well, the Leo down, my Leo, he loved me to death. He feel like he's supposed to be with me forever. He already told me that, Mama, you my teacher. But I learned something, and now, like, I talk to my daughter, when we get on the phone, we be on the phone for like 2-3 hours. But that's my Sag daughter. Now, my Libra daughter, that one right there. But when we're around each other, she's here and don't want to leave, because she loves being around her family. So it's an amazing journey. This is an amazing journey. It's an amazing experience. Make sure that you take time to really dive in it. Okay, so my phone about to go dead. So I do want to do, like, I might do 1 or 2 cards. And I want to get into another point that I wanted to make. Okay, so I'm going to pull back up, hopefully from my other phone. And yeah, I got some charge on this one. So I'll be back, y'all.